Hello everybody. Oh wow, that was a good episode. So this is my review of Series 12, Episode 11, Revolution of the Daleks. Spoilers ahead, because from when I'm doing this, filming this is before American people have watched it. It's recently finished in Australia, I think. So yeah, I think most of the people here are British watching. I'm just saying spoilers throughout this entire video. So I'm just going to go through the plot as quickly as I can because I have a lot of notes, especially on the Doctor. So basically the episode begins showing us the ending of Resolution, not exactly the ending of Resolution, but the battle in GCHQ. Then it cut to, it says 376 minutes later, I don't know how many hours that is, and then they show us the impact of that, and this guy is called to pick up the Dalek shell and told to take it somewhere, and he gets his coffee filled up and his poisoned, his tea filled up, is poisoned, and this woman who had the tea, sort of thing like a mobile restaurant, if you know what I mean. Food truck. That's the word, food truck. Yeah. And then she puts the guy in the back of the van where the Dalek is, and then takes him somewhere. And we find out that that woman is employed by Jack Robertson, who, if you watch Actors in the UK, you know who he is. And he was in that episode. He says he's trying to go for President 2020. They don't actually state that in this episode, but they do reference it. It was like, ooh, is it a possible president-elect campaign or something like that at the end of the episode? Yeah, and it's basically, they cut to a few months later, and then we see the Dalek. The Dalek is the guy who created it, calls it a drone, based on this shell from GCHQ, and it puts gas, not real deadly gas, but water as well, and it also puts like sound deterrent. And then the woman called Jo says like, they can't let you know. Nobody should know about what's going on here. Just me and you know this. Like Leo knows that this is from something, but he's not sure what. So yeah, and then it cuts to present day, where Ryan and Graham, they say it's New Year's Day. This is a good point. I'm going to say this because, I find some sort of thing in a mini short story thing. Sounds like 32th of the June happens in January 2020. Apparently, this episode also takes place in apparently January 2020. The Doctor would not put them down in a place before when they were already existing. Sometimes you know it should take place late 2020, but because Graham says it's New Year's, it's 1st of January 2021, not 2020, because if you have a look at the TARDIS wiki it says that, but that's not the point. Yeah, Graham shows Yaz the footage of that, and Yaz is trying to work out the TARDIS from the end of the Timeless Children. No mention of the people, that Ravio, Ethan, and who the guy is, I've forgotten his name, but Fake or something like that. I can't actually remember. Yeah, Yaz is trying to work out the TARDIS, so that she can save the Doctor. Well, actually, by this point we've seen the Doctor in prison a few times, a couple of scenes where they show her doing her routine, eating, exercising, and going back to prison. They show that a couple of times. So yeah, and they find out that Graham has shown this video to Yaz of the Dalek in the demonstration, and it zooms up to Jack Robertson. Well, not zooms up, it goes up to Jack Robertson, so somebody was filming that demonstration. So yeah, they try and investigate that, and then we cut to the prison again, when then the Doctor's just talking to the characters, as she calls an Weeping Angel, Angela. she goes to a silent. She goes to another cell. Well, she doesn't go to the cell. She's looking around. There's one right opposite her with the looking angel. She calls it Angela. There's one with an oud and cigarettes in it, and a silent. And she says, "Oh, I forgot you were there." And then she goes to the one with the pating, which is in front of her. He says, "You can't eat that. The electricity will zap you, or kill you or something." So they do that. And then Jack happens to be the one right beside him, and Jack said he's been doing lots of crimes, and he's waited 19 years. So it's been 19 years, at least, possibly more, since his appearance in the future of the Judun. So yeah. So that's been dealt with. And then Jack uses this ball thing which slows down time for them, and then gives them an opportunity to and Jack smuggled his vortex manipulator, so they go to the Doctor's TARDIS, and then they get home, and then Ryan says it's been 10 months when they do eventually see her. So yeah, and then Yaz literally just pushes her away because she's like royally pissed off. 10 months, and they all thought that she could have been dead. Like, that's mad. Yaz was a hopeful one. Like, Ryan said, "Oh, she might be dead." Yeah. And then they say hi to Jack again, and then they say, "Oh, there's a Dalek," and then the Doctor goes, "What?" Pure David Tennant style, sort of. And then they must have told them, because then they go to Jack Robertson, and then they basically are investigating how there's Daleks around, and then there is a scene, can't remember where it is in the episode, it's early on in the episode, where Leo, the guy who created the drone, well, it is a drone, the Dalek drone, and it shows Jack what he's found. He's found in the original artifact that there are small microorganisms inside the shell, and he's cloned them into a real creature. Creatures have gone mad and unstable in a way, and impure to real Daleks. And the Doctor's trying to find a way to stop them. She's trying all the things she can. She has to go with the nuclear option. She has to bring the pure Daleks from Scarrow. Scarrow Davros made Daleks. No Davros appearance. By sending them a sort of message through the time vortex. Oh, by this time, yeah, they put Jack Robertson on his TARDIS. Jack Robertson has never seen a TARDIS. Like, it was in Arrakis in the UK, but he was never anywhere near it. So he was interested, but I don't know what the heck. Yeah, and the Doctor doesn't say it's her. So yeah, she's brought them to Earth so they can destroy these Daleks. But then Jack Robertson messes this up by saying he would betray his own race to help the Daleks, and even sells her out. Like all the pure Daleks have killed all these other Daleks, which have killed a lot of people. So yeah. Then yeah, they've got to destroy that Dalek ship where the pure Daleks have come from. And they save Jack Robertson, even though they don't think they should, but they do. And they teleport away using vortex manipulator again, and also the other Daleks who were flying around, the bronze Daleks, because some of them were in the ship, some of them weren't. The Doctor got them into the house TARDIS. She made it look like it was her TARDIS using a hologram and that, which was really cool. Yeah, she used the house TARDIS and made it I'm assuming she put it down back. She used a hologram for the exterior to make it just look like the normal TARDIS, and it was still house sized, or she put it back into its cylindrical format that it usually was. But yeah, and then she makes that TARDIS fall into itself and then go to the void, so it can't destroy the universe. That's basically the main plot of the episode. And then we fast forward. No, we don't fast forward. It goes later on, where Ryan and Graham are watching TV. Jack Robertson is being played as the hero of the situation, because after this, when they got all that, rid of all that, Jack Robertson was in the TARDIS, and then Jack Robertson says, "What are you going to do about it?" So, like, she's not happy that he did that, sold the Doctor out, and was betraying the human race. And it's like, this is a madman, he's not human. Like, in other parts of the episode, it made it feel like he was disgusted, because when he found out the fluid feeding the Dalek creatures was humans, I was like, that was disgusting. He was disgusted at that. Any normal person would react to that. But yeah, they just make him a normal character again, and yeah, they mentioned that possible president campaign, implying he might not be the president, but yeah. And then the rest of them, they go to the TARDIS, and they're about to have an adventure. Ryan says he's wanting to leave, and then there's like, yeah, it's been too long, and I can't do this anymore. It just doesn't work. And then Graham says he's going to go with him, so he can make that life easier for him. Graham, for Ryan, and then they all hug each other, and I should have said, yeah, Jack is left by this point. Jack Harkness. Yeah, and they all hug. The Doctor gives them both black envelopes, we don't know what's in them, and then we cut to the hill from the woman who fell to earth, and then Graham is helping Ryan ride his bike. Again, they try it a few times. Then they talk about some apparent aliens like gravel monsters, and they say Finland and some other places, and then they open up the things and it's like a paper. And then when Ryan's gone back on the bike again and Graham's about helping them, they both see Grace. They don't acknowledge it to each other. Graham says, "Oh, there's something in my eye," and then Ryan says, "There's something in my eye too." And then they try again, and that's the end of the episode. Wow, 12 minutes to explain that. Okay, just going to delve into this. The characters. The Doctor is in prison after being found by the judge after having to destroy Gallifrey. Well, she doesn't destroy Gallifrey stuff, but having to having Gallifrey destroyed. She doesn't want that, but it's for the benefit of the universe. She says she's been in prison for decades. I don't know if many people mentioned that. It was fairly early on in the episode. I think it was in like just before Jack and the Doctor left prison, or when they were in the TARDIS together. That's when she said it. It couldn't have been later on, but she did say that. Thinks that she has gone to when she goes back to she thinks she goes back to the family immediately after she left them. Is she annoyed that she's seen them again, but it's been too late and missed out all the time she could have had them? She even says to Yaz that she could go back and change the timeline so they could have more time and do it right. When Jack breaks her out, she feels surprised and glad. She sees a familiar face. When she's pushed by Yaz, she is shocked that she has made this impact on them, specifically Yaz. The others, they're glad that she's back, but they're not pushy, literally, or in that state of mind. And Ryan says that he has been helping his friends. She feels pushed aside, which I found they have a heart-to-heart together, which I actually think is pretty good. And I think this is probably the last very long episode we're going to be together. They might have a little cameo, like cameo, not like a guest star on a whole episode. They might have a cameo in 13's final story, but that'll probably be it. But yeah, that scene where the Doctor and Ryan talk to each other is very emotional, and you can tell from both actors. Because I was saying on the Monthly Resolution, I think that scene he did with his dad in the cafe is one of his Tosin Cole's best. And when she finds out there was Daleks on Earth and who's seemingly behind it, she's annoyed and like, oh, why again. Contract Lawrence Jack Robertson, and she doesn't know why he's doing this. Like, why would you want to destroy the planet? She works out how the Daleks were created and the fluid feeding them. Has to go with the nuclear option by bringing the pure scarlet bred Daleks to Earth to destroy the human-made ones. It's a way that Jack Robertson saw the Doctor out and was portrayed the human race disgusted at him doing that, and him saying, "What are you going to do about it? Is that going to stop me?" Took the Daleks by using the TARDIS she sent to Earth, walks it in on itself, says goodbye to Jack and gives someone to go in. Because after that scene where they're all in TARDIS with both Jacks, after that scene where you see Jack Robertson on the TV, none of them are physically there. And again, like there's a voiceover of Jack in the TARDIS. They're talking and they say, "Oh, Gwen, she was fighting some Daleks and the sun was punching them with some boxing gloves," which is weird because she had a daughter. Gwen had a daughter during Miracle Day called Anwen, so she's had another child since then. I don't know if that contradicts any of the Big Finish things, because her last chronological appearance was in the first story of Series 6 of Torchwood. I think that was literally her last appearance. Like, there might have been monthly adventures, but they're all scattered about the timeline. And so says bye to Jack and gives her love to Gwen. When Ryan says he's leaving and says 2 hearts, one happy, one sad, that's a very emotional and clever line as it tells you how she deals with things which could be life altering. Happy that Yaz is staying, but sad that Graham is leaving also. Hugs all of them and gives them both psychic paper to possibly travel around the world. Yaz is trying to work out how the TARDIS works so that she can save the Doctor from wherever she is. When she sees the footage of the Dalek and Robertson, she is confused but eager to help them out and stop this. She finds the investigation rather difficult after going and finding Jack Robertson. When the Doctor returns, she is annoyed and glad at the same time. She literally pushes her because she's felt like, why did you do this to me? Why did you have to leave us and think you were dead and that? I think that particular scene and the one with Jack shows like why she's continuing as a companion, not Graham and Ryan, because it's showing the more emotional things with the Doctor that she hasn't had much of prior to Series 12. Like, there was emotional. The only really things he has had in Series 11 which made her feel good was Arachnids, because it showed her family dynamic in the present, and Demons, as it showed her family her reacting to her family, the shocking secret of her family's past. But it seems 12 they developed her more, especially in Spyfall, Can You Hear Me, and some other episodes, Haunting of Villa Diodati. She was a really good character, and even in the finale Ascension and The Timeless Children, she was really good. Is using her intelligence when her and Jack are checking things out. And Jack tells her that life with the Doctor can be amazing. Even though if you lose it for a while, it's still worth it. Not many people have got to do this. Not many people have got to be able to have adventures throughout the entire universe. It's discussed by Jack Robertson, where she was last time. When she finds out that Graham and Ryan are leaving the TARDIS, she says that she's staying, and she ends a tear of them. Almost has a row with Ryan, because she said, this is before them, definitely before Graham. I don't know, this must have been after Ryan. She says, I'm definitely staying. So I'll have a thought for you. I can't remember if Ryan says that to Yaz or Yaz says that to Ryan. Or you look after each other, something like that. Yeah. But Ryan says, you've said it now. I think if they do meet again, they might not be on good terms. And she hugs them and they leave. Graham has moved on and has cared more for Ryan, tells Yaz if she wants to help them stop a possible alien invasion. Why I don't know why I wrote intervention. When the Doctor returns, he is shocked but is also happy. They investigate the situation and they rile Jack Robertson up. he doesn't tell Jack Robertson how the TARDIS works because he's confused. He's never seen it before. He was like, what the heck just happened? When the Doctor comes out, he's like, what? And then, like, yeah, Ryan and Graham have a little thing a few times. And it's like, oh, should we tell him? It's like, no, it's better not. Tells Ryan that they've taken on others and that they can't do this. He tries to fist bump Ryan, but he declines, which I think that undermines Series 11. And Ryan does say Grandad back, but in a sort of mocking terms, like, oh, your old Grandad. And like, okay, comedic purposes, that's funny, but I think that undermines Series 11, because in Series 11 they had all these adventures by the Ghost Monument, but Roman felt there weren't now good terms in Ghost Monument onwards until it takes you away. It takes you away, and Battle of Ranskor, of course, a really good core of the relationship. It shows you how much they've grown. Like, in Grandad, he calls Graham Grandad at the end, it takes you away, and he fist bumps him, Graham in Battle of Ranskor, of course. And by that, even though it might just be a joke, it does, I think it undermines that arc. Discusses that Jack Robertson has claimed himself as a hero after the event. Decides to leave the TARDIS to look after Ryan. They all hug each other. 13 gives them psychic paper so they can defend her. Helps Ryan ride his bike and he sees Grace. And they think could possibly go to other countries to stop aliens. Ryan finds out about the Dalek and Robertson. When he sees the Doctor again, they have a heart-to-heart conversation, which I've already said, but it's a really good conversation. It feels very natural. With some of Tosin's scenes with the Doctor don't feel that natural with other characters. Yeah, but not necessarily the Doctor. But that one was a really good one, where he tells her how he's been coping in these 10 months and helping his friends. Asks her how she's been. When he finds out about the situation, he's thinking, oh, I've had this life I've never known. I was born on a planet which isn't Gallifreyan and I don't know. He helps her out by saying that she is still a Doctor and she tries her best to mend the universe together. Investigates the situation. It's not really much to say until the end for his character. He riles up Jack Robertson and Graham. He doesn't accept the fist bump, which is sort of annoying. It doesn't work. That's pretty much it, which I've just said for Graham. At the end, he tells the Doctor that he's leaving her. He feels like, I can't do this anymore. It's been too long. I feel like I need to focus on myself. Graham says, yeah, he's leaving also so that I can help Brian to make his life better and possibly defend the Earth. Go to the hill from the woman who fell to Earth, and Graham helps him ride the bike. He sees Grace as well and feels better. He feels like he can do it. Finds out that the Doctor gave him psychic paper so they can defend the Earth. Tries riding a bike a few more times. That is all I've got to say about the characters. Well, this is a lengthy video. I was hoping for it to be a good amount. Solid story, good writing. A couple of moments where they said things like, Jack says, I'm immortal. I was like, okay, that's fine. We know you're immortal. You're telling them they're immortal. Fine. But I think there was a missed opportunity, like when Jack was hiding. I think if he was just running and he was about to hide, a Dalek just came around, because they were showing a few Daleks, another one just came around, slightly moved. Or when he was running, one killed him then. Or one turned around when he was hiding and just shot him there. You noticed. Literally, if you say that line, you're expecting a death, or Jack. But it didn't. It was like, that line sort of fell flat. There might have been a couple of others, but there was a main one. Made this Dalek sinister and deadly again. Well, they were deadly and sinister in the last episode. And he's Chris Chibnall. Okay, is divisive, yes, but the characters that have been brought back from the past, the Daleks from Resolution in this episode, Cybermen and the Master in Series 12, they've all been written really well. The Cybermen, I think the Series 12 Cybermen thing mentioned in Fugitive and the last 3 episodes were really good. Probably one of the best Cybermen stories of New Who, apart from maybe their first story in Series 2 and the Series 10 finale. Yeah, Moffat is not really good writing the Daleks. Harkness was a good addition to the team, but I think he could have done more to help. And they could have seen more.
What's going on?
Nothing, I'll be down soon. Sorry about that. I was saying they could have shown more scenes of the Doctor in prison before she left, because like it was a good amount of time, because it was a 71-minute episode, I think. And it was about around half an hour in that she left, but they only showed her like twice, or maybe 3 times. I think if they had given her like 5 more minutes of screen time, a few more scenes before she left prison, would have felt gained. I think they just needed to get to her quickly so she can help with the Dalek plot. But apart from that, it's pretty good. I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. And also, extra spoilers for those at least in Australia, and I'd say definitely America. Definitely America, because the episode hasn't even aired yet. Maybe Australia, because they didn't show this after the episode in Australia, and I don't know if they will in America, but they did show it after this episode. John Bishop, they showed a clip as after the episode of Shipping Potato, was in Liverpool, and then they showed this guy talking about on his phone, was like, oh, I was got to sign, D's going to be important letter, blue's an important colour, 13's a lucky number, something about saving the universe, something helping out, but the universe isn't going to end. And it shows John Bishop, introducing John Bishop, and then it shows John Bishop, and then it flicks through a few scenes of him from different episodes. So yeah, it implies that he's going to be the new companion, series 13, and a confirmed 2021 release. It did say at the end 2021, so we're getting series 13 later this year. I'm saying September's the earliest. I'd honestly be surprised if we got an episode, a full-length episode, before September. People say it could be Halloween because on the filming, where John Bishop was spotted actually, he had been spotted for filming, but they only spotted him filming for once. It was a house and it had Halloween decorations. Halloween 31st October is a Sunday, so that could be the premiere, might not be. Not much to known about series 13 apart from a possible Crimean War episode and the Sontaran stuff. So yeah, I didn't know that he was gonna be a companion. I was initially hyped for a 13 in Yaz series, and that would have been nice. But John Bishop as a companion is going to be interesting. I would have preferred, I'm saying right now, I would have preferred it just 13 in Yaz, but I might not know. Like, the thing is, he might not be in the first few episodes of the series. So that's one thing, is there's 8 episodes known, but it could be a 7 episode series and a special because of the way Children worded it, having 8 instead of the usual 11. If he said usual 10, that implies there's 2 episode cut. We're not having a special, but he said 11, implying that there might be a special, so it might just be a 7 episode series. But I would like it if that is the Halloween premiere, the Halloween broadcast on Halloween. It would be nice if there was at least 2 or 3 episodes before they meet Dan. The BBC have confirmed his character's name Dan. I don't know if they say he's a plumber. I can't remember, I looked at the article earlier. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. I would like a few episodes with Doctor and Yaz purely, and they come to Festive and it's like, oh, who's this? Because I would like to explore the dynamic of Yaz and the Doctor just doing things, and developing that relationship with Yaz and the Doctor. And then when a new companion comes in, like, she sort of feels like something towards, like, she still likes it, really is interested in the Doctor. She could even be in love with the Doctor, all those Phasma people. I think that may be addressed, but I don't think that'll be addressed via the Doctor, be via Yaz, maybe Dan, if Dan notices it. So yeah. Oh yeah, so yeah, it's like she's sort of riled up, like, why did you bring this guy along? I'm here. So yeah, that's all I have. Good, this is 30 minutes. I wanted it to be at least 30 minutes. And I've got a couple more minutes anyway, because I'm going to do my ranking. I have changed a few things about. So here it is. I'm just going to go from the top down to the bottom. I think for the episodes with the, if there's more than one episode with this specific number, it will be released first, even though like I'm going to go 10. The one that was broadcast second is by favour over the first one. I'm just doing it release per order per rank. So let's just go with it. 10 out of 10 Voyage of the Damned and the Snowmen. 9 out of 10 A Christmas Carol and Time Part 2. 8.5 out of 10 Husbands of River Song and Revolution of the Daleks. 8 out of 10 Twice Upon a Time and Resolution. 7.5 out of 10 Runaway Bride and The End of Time Part 1. 7 out of 10 The Christmas Invasion. 6 out of 10 Last Christmas. 5.5 out of 10 The Next Doctor and Time of the Doctor. And 5 out of 10 The Doctor, the Wardrobe and the Return of Dr. Mysterio. So that's it. I don't know what videos I'll be doing next, but just look out, subscribe, put on that bell icon so you'll get notifications whenever I upload a video, and that'll be it. So that's all I've got to say. So adios amigos, and Mr. Scarlo out. Bye.